ABC News. I'm Ashley Martella. In 4.5 hours, President Reagan leaves Helsinki for Moscow with a newly signed medium-range nuclear missile treaty delivered to him by White House Chief of Staff Howard Baker. Nobody's expecting any miracles from the 4 days of new talks, though. U.S. officials say 2 minor arms control measures may not be finished in time, and there's no chance for signing an agreement on missile tests. Also, U.S. officials say they don't expect any breakthroughs on regional disputes or human rights to come out of the summit. Still, in his weekly radio address Saturday, the president praised changes made by the Soviet leadership.
When we encourage Soviet reforms, it is with the knowledge that democracy not only guarantees human rights, but also helps prevent war, and in truth, is a form of arms control.
This is Vic Ratner with the president in Helsinki. It's a short flight, just an hour and a half from Helsinki to Moscow, but for Ronald Reagan, whose anti-communism has been a cornerstone of his career, the distance is more than the 600 miles that Air Force One will travel. It's a major milestone for the president, his first visit to the place he once called an evil empire. Vic Ratner, ABC News, with the president in Helsinki.
On the eve of the summit, the Soviets blasted what they called lavish supplies of U.S. arms they say are going to Afghan rebels via Pakistan, and they threatened to stop pulling their troops out if it continues. More after this.
We came in low, kissing the treetops, and touched down just behind the front line. It was already starting to heat up.
Come on, get up that ridge! Now!
They went up the ridge as fast as the 40 pounds on our backs would let us. And there it was. Hell. About 100 yards off, staring us right in the face. Like an army of ants, we chipped away, trying to hold ground long enough for the big birds to make their drops.
Section 1, this is Bravo. Over. You need Bravo. Hey, this sucker's out of control up here.
He was right. The wind kicked up and a wall of fire cut our line in two.
Move it, come on! Get out of here!
A few guys never made it out, so the papers called it a deadly monster. But we weren't really fighting a deadly monster that day. We were fighting ourselves, because it's people who start forest fires.
A public service of the Ad Council, the USDA Forest Service, and your state forester.
Retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North received a hero's welcome at the Pennsylvania State Fair Saturday. He told nearly 2,000 people in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, that liberty was never meant to be a free ticket, and he went on to blast the nation's federal welfare system while urging a stronger national defense policy. He also had an idea on what to do about the refusal of Panama's military ruler to step down.
I believe that the time has come now to tell Panama that if they want to keep Noriega, we get to keep the Panama Canal.
North, who received about $20,000 for the speaking engagement, joked that it's nice to be invited somewhere without a subpoena. A West Virginia state senator indicted for allegedly accepting a bribe while he was a county commissioner has been named the new chairman of the Mingo County Democratic Party. Senator Truman Chaffin becomes the 5th consecutive county Democratic chairman in West Virginia to face criminal charges. They held an art festival in Los Angeles Saturday, right smack in the middle of one of the toughest gang territories. ABC's Jane Platt says it's an oasis amidst the battleground.
This is not the ritziest neighborhood in L.A. by far. Nearby streets are splattered with gang graffiti, but there's no room, no time for that on this cluster of homes on St. Elmo's Drive. 10 homes and garages are adorned with paintings, sculpture, murals, a reflection of those who live in this creative oasis. Village elder Rozelle Sykes says the gangs don't bother them here. Some gang members have even come to learn how to paint. Sykes says U.S. senators and congressmen have come to visit the village. They tell him they hope to accomplish with government programs what's being done here every day. Jane Platt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And speaking of gangs, they're sporting lots of girls in the front lines these days. That's according to an official of an agency in Chicago charged with reducing gang violence. He says there are now 7 to 9 independent female gangs in his city, and many carry carpet knives for stealing, purse snatching, and other acts of assorted violence. This is ABC News. Britain's sports minister has called for a full investigation into a riot at a London soccer match that sports officials could say could dash the hopes of English clubs to compete in Europe again. At least 22 people, including 2 policemen, were injured and 100 were arrested Saturday in a game between Chelsea and Middlesbrough. When Chelsea lost, some of their fans smashed through a security barrier and stormed the field, hurling stones and bottles at the opposition fans. English teams were banned from European tournaments after 29 people were killed in a riot in Brussels 3 years ago. For the ABC Information Network, I'm Ashley Martella.